What's up everyone? My name is Brad. Welcome back to my channel. Today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about this beautiful specimen right behind me, the emerald green arborvitae. I'm going to walk you through some tips and tricks on how to grow a beautiful tree quick, fast, and easy. So let's get to it. Alright, so this is the emerald green arborvitae, and I've grown these for about 3-4 years. These trees get to be about 15 feet tall. When I first planted these trees, they were about 4 feet to 3 feet tall. That is pretty short, but now they've grown into monsters. So to give you some reference, I'm gonna stand behind or beside one of my emerald greens so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so for reference, this emerald green that is about 8 to 9 feet tall used to be all the way down here when I planted it. So I'm going to give you some tips on how to grow an emerald green quick and fast. So for reference, I am in zone 8. It used to be zone 7B, but we recently got moved to a zone 8. If you want your trees to grow quickly, there are a couple of things that I recommend that you do as soon as possible and at the beginning of the growing season. So let's start with the first step. The first trick is to make sure that these trees get plenty of sun. I'm talking at least a minimum of 8 hours of sun each day. That is how you can ensure that you would get nice, full looking trees with very minimal browning. Keep in mind, you will get some browning when these trees go into dormancy, which happens in late fall and throughout the winter, but when your spring and summer hits, they'll quickly rebound and you'll quickly get your trees looking lush and green again. The second trick is to make sure that you give these things fertilizer. So I fertilize with Espoma plant tone. Emerald green arborvitae aren't like other evergreens. They like basic soil, not acidic soil. So I wouldn't recommend using anything like holly tone, but instead use plant tone. I fertilize at the base of the tree at the beginning of each season, and I only fertilize once a season. If you like videos like this and want to see more videos about tips and tricks for indoor and outdoor houseplants, please be sure to subscribe to my channel. It's totally free and would mean a lot. Thank you so much. Now back to the video. Thirdly, and perhaps most crucial, is to make sure you give these trees water. When these trees have a lot of sun, they also need a lot of water. Sun and water equals the ability for your tree to photosynthesize a lot of the energy that is coming from the sun, and that energy being converted allows you to push out new growth. So I'm averaging about 1.5 to 2 feet of growth every single year out of my emerald green arborvitae, and I imagine that I'm going to get the exact same thing this season as well. If you want to grow these beautiful emerald green arborvitae trees quickly without any kind of struggle, just follow those steps and you too will succeed. Now, I will recommend that when you are planting in order to do a hedge, to make sure that your spacing is done right. So you might be tempted to plant these trees very close together in order to get a hedge more quickly, but your trees will not thank you for it. You want to make sure that you're at least giving them 4 feet apart. So my trees right now are currently spaced at 4 feet apart on the front end, and then on the back end, so from front to back, they're about 3 feet apart. This spacing will allow the trees to reach maturity without being overcrowded. If your trees get overcrowded, what you're going to find is you're going to get a lot of browning on the interior, which can also lead to diseases later on. Here are some of the other emerald green arborvitae that I planted, and I've followed basically the same setup where I have my hedge of wintergreen boxwoods, followed by emerald green arborvitae, followed by an Italian cypress. These emerald greens are going to be in their first full season of growth planted in the ground. And then these further down were planted early last year, so this will be their second full growing season. If you follow these tips and tricks and you have a little bit of patience, you too can grow the beautiful and tall emerald green arborvitae.